Good afternoon. My name is JC Polanco. I'm an attorney in New York. I live in the Bronx, and I'm so excited to be here with you for your second day, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Ellen Iwamoto. I'm the Director of Civics Programs at the Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania. Welcome back. Good to hear. We're looking forward to hearing from you again on a different question.
Hey, good to see you again. Welcome back and looking forward to your presentation and our discussion. I'm Jeff Owen, Washington, D.C. area, retired trade association exec. Good luck to you.
Would you introduce yourselves, please, and introduce your teacher as well?
Hi, my name is Olivia Gangster.
Hi, my name is Lily Fu.
Hi, my name is Riley Didcott, and we go to Bumpus Middle School. We'll be doing Unit 6, Question 2, and our teacher is Miss Hall.
Great, thank you. So let's begin. As you know, Unit 6 is about our responsibilities as citizens. So today we're examining the role, if any, that the United States play in helping other nations or promoting democratic ideas and principles around the world. What are the advantages and disadvantages of nation states? What criteria should be used to determine which countries should be helped and what kind and level of help the United States should offer these countries? And what ways do nations of the world interact with each other? You may begin.
The United States should help other citizens promote democratic ideas and principles around the world. To help other nations, the United States can provide humanitarian help, such as sharing medical advancements and lending resources. Liberal democracies help benefit citizens and other democracies, so they should be taught around the world. Citizens able to travel can travel to other nations to teach democracy. Nation states can benefit greatly from democratic ideas and influences.
Nation states are countries that have a common appearance, language, or religion, such as most European countries and places such as Japan and Singapore. Nation states have many advantages and disadvantages. Some of these advantages of nation states are they are highly developed, they are economically prosperous, and they do not encroach on other nations' territories. On the other hand, nation states also have many disadvantages as well. Some of the disadvantages are there is no diversity or very little of it, and lack of inspiration from other countries and cultures that are even more advanced. From the knowledge of the advantages and disadvantages of nation states can affect our economy, we should shift the focus on which countries should be helped and what help the U.S. should offer to those countries.
The United States should focus on its own economy before offering large amounts of help to others. The United States has already has many problems in our government and economy, such as border crisis, taxes, poverty, and civil rights. Over the last few months, we have experienced many protests that have quickly turned into riots. We have seen discrimination and anger towards police officers as a whole, instead of the individuals who have wronged others. Our tax rates are rising due to all the stimulus checks Biden is giving out, and many people are still in poverty due to losing jobs because of COVID. We are currently also going through overpopulation at the border. Even though we should focus our attention on ourselves, we should still offer help to other nations that we have former positive relationships with. We should also help those in desperate needs, and we should not help the countries that have cruel intentions or plan to use the help we provide them for the worse. We should help the people who are suffering the results of cruel leaders too. This will help us expand our communication with other countries as well as strengthen our bonds.
Nations have been interacting with each other since the beginning of time. As soon as people realized that there were other people, they started trading with them. With limited resources in the homelands, humans traded with other nations to sustain living conditions, and both nations benefited. Humans did not only interact with trade, they interacted with war. War on land and resources grew immensely as greed took over people's minds. Historians believe the first war to ever happen took place in Mesopotamia in 2700 BC, where they competed for limited resources. Nation interaction has been going on forever, such as the Charter of the United Nations in 1945. This treaty was the founding document for the United Nations. The purpose of the United Nations was to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, cooperate in solving international, economical, social, cultural, and humanitarian problems, and promote respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms.
We have finished our speech.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to follow up on a question that we're asking the groups. You know, your parents work very hard and your teacher works hard. You're going to end up working hard as well one day. And you spend a lot of money on in taxes, money you send to the government for services. Let me ask you, how many of you can at least tell me a little bit about your views on how we spend that money on foreign aid? Is there a cost or is there also a benefit for us giving foreign aid out to other countries?
I think there is a benefit for giving foreign aid to other countries. It could develop a good relationship with the other country, and they might be able to benefit the US in future problems.
Okay, thank you.
Great, so, we talked, I'm sorry, not we, you spoke a lot about all the, about war, about trade, economic benefits, humanitarian issues. So I'm just wondering if you could identify or speak to the parts of the Constitution that guide the US role in global affairs. It could be, if the three branches of government. Okay. It's fine.
So let's move on to another topic here. Could you talk about some important examples of treaties and agreements that we have with other nations and why they are important? I mean, we've got agreements with other countries. We've had it throughout our history. Can you identify one maybe that you'd want to talk about a little bit and talk about how and why it was important to the U.S. to do that, to have an agreement with one other country or another group of countries?
One that we mentioned in our opening statement was the Charter of the United Nations. This was really, it benefited multiple nations, and it really helped with international relations.
Any other comments? Great, thank you.
So at this point, let's conclude. Is there anything else you would like to add for your presentation? Anything that you were prepared for in the follow-up that wasn't asked? Okay, that's okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'll ask a follow-up question about the global crisis that's going on now, the pandemic. What role, how do you think nations, it's very unequal with vaccines, accessibility to vaccines, and the poverty level of some countries. How do you think nations should work together or interact, or what should the U.S. role be?
I believe that communication is key. The other countries can tell them what we need and what the U.S. can have, like, because the U.S. can have a surplus of things like overbuying vaccines, which is something that we might have been doing. So if we have a surplus of something, we can communicate with other countries and see how we can help them.
Okay, thank you.
So you alluded to the fact that we have a lot going on here at home, but we also have obligations abroad. And there might even be new obligations abroad as this country evolves. How do we weigh those challenges? If you've only got so much, how do you determine what goes where? And who does that?
I would say the more important ones are the ones that affect the most people. And if the more people are going to benefit, you should really focus on those first over the other ones.
Adding on to her statement, the ones more important are the ones that are harming others or hurting communities, societies, a certain group of people, and it's just not good for the people that are living.
Adding on to both of those, like the one problem that like is like the main big one that like hurts a lot of people, that one should be taken care of first, and then they should go by the smaller ones next.
And who decides that? Think about our government. Well, what groups decide that?
Can you say that again? The volume wasn't.
When you have priorities, and there's lots that needs to get done in this world. Who decides what goes first and where? Somebody has to make a decision, right?
I think the government makes the decision to see which one goes first.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Anything else? Well, thank you so much for your presentation. Your entry was very good. The way you began your presentation today. I know some of you are very nervous and the questions could be a little difficult. My advice is, I know you guys are going to continue working very hard in this subject. My advice would be for you to focus and relax and know that you can do a very good job. Have confidence in yourself. There's no reason why you are not able to answer some of these questions. And I think that it must be because of Zoom, or maybe you were overwhelmed today. But I know that next time you're going to do a lot better. No question about it.
I will also like to thank you for all the work you put into your presentation, and to your teacher for doing this during a particularly difficult school year. I think that it's very difficult to be able to answer questions off the top of your head. To just be able to think on your feet it's definitely not an easy thing. So I do thank you for your presentation, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I would just say that to add to what the good advice my colleagues have mentioned, the whole business of our country's role around the world is very complicated. And it's complicated in terms of trade-offs, what to do, what not to do, and all of that. And I think we found today that can be challenging to sort through how we get at those answers. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your preparation. I want to thank you for being part of this program. I enjoyed being with you this afternoon, and I wish you good luck on the rest of your journey here. Thanks very much.